I hope we don't go back to some of the practices in the past that, Harry and I had to grow up in. I think it's safe to say that change is on my agenda.
Something has shifted behind palace walls, and this time it's impossible to ignore. Prince William, long known for restraint and silence, is reportedly done playing nice. After years of enduring public jabs, media spin, and strategic timing from across the Atlantic, the future king is said to be drawing a firm line. What began as private frustration has evolved into calculated action, complete with strategic hires and a tougher communication stance. This isn't just a family rift anymore, it's a full-scale effort to reclaim control. So what finally pushed William to this point? And why now? Let's break it down. William's breaking point. Prince William has reached the edge. After years of walking a fine line between diplomacy and disapproval, insiders say he's had enough of the circus surrounding Harry and Meghan. And this time, he's not just irritated, he's taking action. At the center of this breaking point is William's growing concern that the Sussexes are doing long-term damage to the institution he's destined to lead. The triggering moment wasn't just another public relations stunt. It was Meghan's now viral baby mama dance video, widely seen as tasteless and overproduced.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you watch it. SOT 24.
1 month, 2 month, 3 month, hit the baby mama when I step into the door.
She's
yeah, I'm pregnant,
supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital room, dancing with a big belly. Harry's there too. She's kind of twerking. She's gonna twerk.
To William, it wasn't just cringeworthy. It was humiliating to the monarchy. But what made things worse was Meghan's follow-up interview, where she positioned the video as a fun moment amidst chaos. For a royal family built on discretion and dignity, this was the final straw. William reportedly believes these stunts turned serious moments, like pregnancy and motherhood, into gimmicks. And this isn't just about tone. William is also furious over Harry's ongoing media strategies, including claims of royal communication that reportedly never happened. Sources say William wants it all out in the open, and scrubbed from the record where necessary. And for the first time, that frustration is no longer staying behind palace walls. Cleaning the palace house. William's frustrations are no longer confined to private palace corridors. Now, he's making strategic moves that signal a shift from passive to proactive. His first bold step? Bringing in heavyweight communications officer Liza Ravenscroft.
So we're here at the Simplifying event where we've had lots of roundtables this morning talking about issues that we're...
A former BBC journalist with serious credibility and a mission to match. Why her? Because William needs someone who can fight fire with facts. Liza isn't just a PR flack. She's an expert in narrative control and media management, handpicked to combat what the palace sees as repeated misinformation and damaging PR stunts from Harry and Meghan. Insiders say William wants Liza to build a defense system, not just for his image, but for the monarchy's long-term reputation. It's no longer about weathering scandals, it's about neutralizing them before they land. And that means responding swiftly to Sussex-led media bombshells, challenging inaccuracies in real time, and restoring balance to a royal story that's been rewritten too many times from across the Atlantic. William's intent is clear. The royal family cannot keep operating like it's 1995 in a 24/7 media cycle. And if the Sussexes want to keep rolling out truth bombs, then the palace now has someone who knows exactly how to dismantle them, quietly and efficiently. It's not a coincidence that this hire happened now. William is drawing a line, and this time it's backed by a professional who knows how to silence a firestorm before it spreads. But communications are only one front in a much larger battle William is preparing to fight. The website debate and royal legitimacy. One quiet yet telling battleground in this royal conflict? The official royal family website. As of now, Harry and Meghan still appear among active royal profiles, but William reportedly wants them removed permanently. And he has a point. According to palace sources, William believes the website is not a family scrapbook. It's a platform to promote working royals. In his view, keeping the Sussexes listed legitimizes people who haven't served the monarchy in years, and whose actions now actively undermine it. It's not about erasing history, it's about acknowledging reality. Harry and Meghan walked away from royal duties, signed media deals, criticized the family in interviews, and yet remained featured on the same digital stage as the Princess of Wales and King Charles? For William, that's a contradiction that sends the wrong message to the public and to the world. Every appearance, every endorsement, every project by Harry and Meghan now floats in a gray area. Are they acting as royals or as private citizens?
Triggered when we were doing work on this almost 5 years ago at Stanford. Do you remember what they said about in the online space? It's one of the only other places where you call the customer a user.
William wants that ambiguity gone. There's also the issue of accountability. With increasing scrutiny from the British public about who funds what and why, it's becoming harder to justify the online presence of royals who no longer serve the crown but continue to profit from its legacy. And nowhere is that boundary testing more calculated than in the timing of Meghan's public moves. Meghan's PR games and strategic timing. If there's one move that consistently riles the palace, it's Meghan's impeccable timing. Royal watchers have observed a familiar pattern. Just as Catherine or the royal family prepares for a major announcement, Meghan's camp releases a headline-grabbing moment of its own. As one royal commentator put it bluntly, it's never accidental. The timing is always too perfect to ignore. From documentary trailers to surprise podcast appearances and vague project teasers, it's become a recurring headline battle. According to insiders, William sees no coincidence in this strategy. One palace source said, "There's a growing belief that these releases are designed to redirect attention, not share news." Rumors have only deepened the mistrust. Some claim Harry's team attempted to access royal diaries to anticipate key events. Whether true or not, a former royal aide noted, "The trust is gone." People now assume a strategy where there used to be goodwill. For William, this behavior crosses a line. Using attention around serious royal occasions for self-promotion violates royal decorum. The latest example? Meghan's subtle hint at returning to acting, released just as the palace launched a major charitable initiative. William reportedly views this as intentional. One source close to the situation said, "William sees this as deliberate disruption, not coincidence." With a new communications chief in place, William wants to shut down what he sees as a reactive PR game. Because timing tells a story, and he's determined the Sussexes won't keep writing the ending. Yet beneath the strategy and sparring lies a far more painful conflict that can't be spun away. Brothers at war, saving the monarchy. At the heart of this feud lies something deeper than headlines, websites, or baby bump videos. It's the story of two brothers who took different paths. One chose duty, the other chose freedom. But now, their roads keep crossing in ways that threaten more than just personal peace. According to palace insiders, William feels an immense responsibility not just to protect his own image, but to preserve the future of the monarchy. In a rare moment of candor reflected in past remarks, William has said, "The monarchy must evolve, but it must do so with dignity and respect."
Well, William, I don't think there was less than a handful dealing with Harry, so I don't think that it really mattered.
When Harry publicly accuses the institution of neglect, racism, or emotional abuse, those claims don't just damage reputations, they shake the foundation of something much larger. William's strategy now is survival. He believes silence can be mistaken for weakness. As he once firmly stated, "We are very much not a racist family," making clear where he stands when the institution is publicly attacked. Allowing one-sided narratives to stand uncontested is no longer an option. But beneath the strategy lies personal pain. Despite the tabloid drama, this is still about two brothers who once shared everything: childhood memories, the loss of a mother, and a shared sense of duty. That bond has now been reduced to legal filings and dueling PR. William's fight isn't just against negative headlines. It's against a slow erosion of what royalty is meant to represent. As he has emphasized before, if we lose the public's trust, we lose everything. This isn't about revenge. It's about drawing the line, and William appears ready to hold it, which leaves one question hanging over the palace and the public alike. Can William win this battle? The question many are asking now. Can William actually contain the Sussex storm? The odds are complex. On one hand, Harry and Meghan have lost much of the public goodwill they once had. Recent polls show waning support, especially in the UK, and media interest in their bombshells appears to be cooling, but Meghan is no amateur. She understands narrative, image, and timing better than most. Her playbook may rely on controversy, but it still earns headlines and clicks. And Harry, despite the backlash, continues to pursue court cases, memoirs, and platforms to tell his side. So William's approach will need to be measured but firm. He can't out-drama the Sussexes, that only fuels the fire. But he can raise standards, reinforce boundaries, and use silence as a strategy. With Liza Ravenscroft at the helm of his communications, the palace is finally equipped with a counter-offensive built not on scandal, but structure. What's more, the public appetite is changing. People are craving dignity over drama. And William, paired with Catherine, may just be the symbol of stability the monarchy needs, now more than ever. Prince William's next moves could redefine how the monarchy responds in an age of constant noise. The lines are drawn, the message is clear, and the era of total silence may be coming to an end. What do you think? Should the palace push back harder or let the Sussexes fade on their own? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this breakdown helpful, like the video, subscribe for more royal insights, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.